Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Jose Delgado, who will be fighting on LFA 188, July 12th. Hello, Jose. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for having me on again.
Thanks for taking the time. We are just 2 weeks away from your fight on LFA. Your opponent will be Lucas Faria. So, if you can tell me, when did you find out about this fight?
Give me 1 second. Oh, I didn't see. So, George, yeah, you're good. Sorry, man. Yeah, almost getting kicked out of the gym here, brother. Um, sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Yes. When did you find out about this fight?
I had a full training camp for this fight. I found out about five, like 6 weeks out. So 6 weeks training camp.
So for you, is it a like regular time, like 6 weeks that you are doing before your fights, or you prefer like 7 or 8?
6 weeks is usually the most I've ever gotten, and I really enjoy it. I feel like I can do a lot with that 6 weeks. I'm not a guy who like, oh, I got to fight time to get in shape. Like I'm in the gym daily. I'm always trying to improve. I really enjoy the time outside of fight camps to really grow and build my skill set and build as a fighter, as an athlete. So like it'll definitely be nice once we get to the bigger shows to have these longer camps, 2, 3 months. I'd like to see how I'd go about playing with that much time and seeing how that affects the performance. But right now in this stage, man, I'm really happy with 6 weeks. And this is going to be my fourth fight within 8 months. So it's been 2 months just kind of back to back fighting. And I really enjoy that activity.
Yes, you are definitely a very busy fighter. So I think that it's actually very good for you. And what do you know about your opponent?
Lucas Faria is super exciting to me. One of the things that excites me the most about him is if you look at his tapology alone, you see he's 7-2, and every fight is first, second round finish, win or lose, man. He's killed or be killed. He comes in with that attitude and he looks to put the guys out. I love that energy, man. I think it takes his styles makes fights, and if he comes in with that energy and the energy I come with, it's gonna be a banger, and it's gonna end with me victorious and hopefully with a sweet highlight reel at the end of it as well.
Yes, this probably will not last whole 15 minutes because of your style.
Yeah, I don't expect it. I'll prepare for it. I'm always prepared to go 15 minutes. I can push the pace with anybody in the world, but I don't expect this guy to make it the full 15.
And for you, is it a like one fight deal with LFA, or do you have more fights on the contract?
This is just a one fight deal. The goal with this fight, man, with this caliber of opponent, this spotlight with LFA 188. The goal with this is to have a performance that makes me undeniable to the big leagues, man, specifically to the UFC, whether that's Contender Series, whether that's UFC straight out. That's what I want. I want a statement making performance, and I have the spotlight. I have the platform to do it. I'm very grateful for LFA for giving me this opportunity, man. I'm not gonna waste that opportunity for sure, and I want this to catapult me to the top level.
And with your style, I think that it is a very big advantage of you that you have this style that you are finishing of your that you are finish your opponents, and you are like always bring action, and UFC of course loves it because fans love it. So I think that actually the one more finish, and you can get either a UFC contract, or maybe this year you can get a like Contender Series shot.
Definitely, those are the two goals, man. I was hoping for Contender Series after my last fight, if I'm being completely honest, and kind of put a little chip on my shoulder that I didn't get it. Like I want these opportunities. I want to be in those positions, and it's all right. I've never been afraid of more work. I'll put more work in. It's no problem with me, man. I'll put my head down. I'll grind more. I'll get another sick fight, sick performance, and I know I'll be undeniable. I'll be undeniable.
In your last fight against Alberto Romo, probably except like 4 or 5 seconds, it was a clear domination. You looked great. You of course were like a little bit hurt probably in the first round, but except this, you looked almost perfect. So I think that it also like showed that how good fighter that you are.
The key word was almost perfect, man. Almost. Yeah, man, Romo came out and he blitzed me with that cross and then sat my ass down and made me think, oh shit, I cannot get finished right here. Like I'm not stumbling my toes. I'm not stumbling my way to the top. I gotta get my ass up. Gotta get, gotta get mine back. Definitely gotta get mine back. And yeah, it's a good lesson, man. It's all good lessons in this. Every fight, like we learn so much, and especially when there's adversity, especially when you're looking up and a guy's chasing you and the ref's getting close. It's a good ass lesson to learn, man. Hopefully, we don't gotta learn too many more like that. But that was definitely a good lesson. And Romo was such a tough guy, man. A ton of respect for that previous opponent. Taught me a lot.
And were you like a little bit maybe in the second afraid that referee may stop the fight too early to that you will have not a chance to like be back in the fight?
Oh man, that was always the fear, especially within that fight night. There was a lot of early stoppages, and I was wary of that. So I was like, I gotta get going. Like, and he caught me with a very clean shot, but I was there the whole time. Like as I was falling, I was like, "Ooh, shit! I gotta make something happen. I gotta get to the single. I gotta get up." So I did my best to eliminate the opportunity of an early stoppage. But yeah, that would have sucked for sure.
And actually, you in this fight you had in your corner Benson Henderson and Jared Cannonier, and Jared had the like close situation in last fight.
Yeah, man, that was such a tough situation for us as his teammates, brothers. Like that was just tough to watch, man. Like Jared's a guy who's shown resilience throughout his whole career, throughout his whole life. Like you look at the Whitaker performance, he breaks his own big bone on his arm within like the first 3 minutes of the fight, and he's in there the whole fight. He's bounced back. That Whitaker fight again, he took a hard head kick, bounces back, almost hurts, or he definitely hurts Rob bad in the third round. Jared's one of the most resilient dudes I've ever met, so it is just a shame that he didn't get the opportunity to show that. But I don't know. Max Holloway says, "Well, it is what it is, man."
Yes, definitely. Jared is a very good fighter, and he still can like be in the even in title contention. Of course, the loss is not good, but I think that he still can make great things in the division.
Jared's the guy that you never want to doubt. Like, go ahead and doubt Jared Cannonier. Go ahead and doubt him. I'll put all my money that he'll prove anybody that doubts him wrong. Jared's the man.
And of course, the second member of your corner was Benson Henderson, and of course, also he had so great moments in W's, in the UFC, in like all of the promotion. And if you can mention like one like favorite moment of his career, do you have a like one specific thing?
Ooh, it's a good question. I mean, there's a lot when it comes to Benson. The first one that sticks out is the Brandon Thatch moment. That was such a gangster moment. He steps in on short notice, elevation, 170 pounds, fights Brandon Thatch, who was such a rising prospect at the time. He was a monster, finishing everybody. And Benson goes in and beats the piss out of him. And sick fight, man. Like, there's just so many Benson moments. I mean, he's right behind me, right there, actually. There's so many moments in his career, man, where he just showed who he is, and he shows who he is every day in here, man. Even now, like he's retired. He came back from vacation. He was on vacation for like 2 weeks. He didn't look like he was on vacation for 2 weeks. He came back Wednesday, sparred so many rounds. But Benson's a man, man. That's why a guy it's so valuable to have him, Cannonier, next generations of guys like the bantamweights we got right now in terms of Mario Bautista, Kyler Phillips, Maniac McGee. Like all these guys lead the brigade just by being who they are, just by carrying themselves the way they carry themselves anywhere else. And they're role models to all of us for sure.
And actually, your gym, of course, that it's always like in the top 3 gyms in the world. But lately, like you said, Mario Bautista is, I believe, on a 6-fight winning streak, and he will be a contender soon, probably. And I believe also the MMA Lab has like 2 fighters in the Contender Series this year. I believe so. So it's like showing how good even the prospects you have.
Yeah, man, we've been here a long time and we've never left. Like I say we, but the lab's been here a long time and it's never left. Like since Benson's career, like it's continued to grow, it's continued to evolve. And like within this game, like you have to evolve. Like, and a lot of that credit goes to John Crouch. He's so curious about fighting. He's so intent on being the best in the world and creating an environment for us to be the best, to reach our ultimate potential as fighters, as individuals, as men, as women. Like it boils down to a lot of people, but John, like I said, John Crouch, all the OGs to say it, they lead this brigade. They kind of elevate us to what we are for sure.
And as the professional, you finished all of your wins by either TKO, knockout, or submission. And what do you prefer in the perfect scenario, to get some crazy knockout, or maybe some like rare submission?
Uh, nothing makes nothing makes you like stand up and like nothing is a bigger oh shit moment than just a nasty knockout. Nothing, no submission tops Max Holloway sleeping Justin Gaethje with 1 second left. I love, like, I live, like, I'm just a fan. I'm just such a fan of this game. So I live for those oh shit moments within fighting. I love grappling. I love submissions. I love all of this. But if, like, you're asking me what I prefer, like, nothing beats just a clean knockout, something sweet, something nasty. Like, nothing beats that to me.
And actually, we talked before that fight, like Max Holloway against Justin Gaethje, but I think that nobody like predicted what's gonna happen, because it was a clear domination and knockout in like 1 second left. I really don't think that anyone like think about the result and the fight itself.
No, definitely not. And I mean, shame on all of us. Shame on all of us for not for counting out Max Holloway, man. Max Holloway's a fighter's fighter, man. Everybody loves Max Holloway. I've gone back and like I rewatch stuff. I always rewatch fights before sparring. I watch a lot of fights, but I rewatch fights before sparring every time. I really think it helps me kind of get into a flow state that I want to reach during sparring and maybe just fire up some mirror neurons. But that Holloway Gaethje fight's been on repeat, man. Every Wednesday, every Saturday, I'm watching it. Not just because of how thick the fight was and how like much moments and momentum the fight had, but just skill for skill, what Max Holloway was doing in there, his distance management, his speed, his pop at 55. Like I really like Max at 55, man. I think he's a monster. He's a monster at 45, 55, but at 55, he's something special. His speed, power, the angles he gets, the distance management. It's really something to watch, man. It's very special.
And if he would decide to fight in lightweight, of course, the like new possible matchups like will appear, and I think that he, even as the lightweight, he can fight for the title, because he defeated actually a former like interim champion.
Yeah, and I mean Gaethje was a clear number one contender in my eyes. Like Poirier got the title shot before Gaethje. You know, Gaethje was coming off the sensational knockout of Poirier. It is what it is. We'll see. The Topuria fight's just fun. Like, I mean, obviously the Topuria fight's what it should be. But like, there's a part of me that kind of wishes it's at 55. Just like I think 55-pound Max is a different fighter. I think this power and speed that he carries at that weight class is something ferocious. I say he calls him out and challenges him for the BMF at 55. But to each their own. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
And do you ever like consider about think about going to the lightweight division in next few years?
Yeah, I imagine so. Like, I don't have a terribly hard time cutting to 45. Like, I woke up today at 159 pounds. Like, it's not a tough cut, but it's something that I would have to dedicate time. Like I said, I don't leave the gym. I'm not gone for months at a time. I'm not gone for weeks at a time. So it's hard for me to, at this stage, put on that size. Like if I make that move, it'd be a real dedicated move of like 3, 6 months chunk of time to put on the size and be a true 55er. I don't imagine bouncing between the two weight classes. I think that'd be a mistake. But frame wise, like I definitely could see that happening in the future. But we'll just see where we're at with 45, and we'll take it. There's still a lot of development I'm making at 45 in my body and my frame at 45. I'm still trying to grow as a 45er. So if we get to a point where it's just not making sense, then definitely I want to get to the highest level at 45 for sure. I want to fight the champions. I want to fight Taporia. I want to fight Max Holloway. I want to fight the best in the world. 45, then 55. Let's do it all.
It's actually good that this is a like 10 pounds difference, not like middleweight and light heavyweight, because
Yeah,
it's probably a big problem for like a little bit bigger middleweights to go
yeah,
to fight the monster in light heavyweight.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Even lightweight to welterweights, like 15 pounds is a big jump relative to 10.
And right now you are in the training camp, and like how your like regular day look like?
Train, eat, sleep, train. Especially this week, man. It's so hot in Phoenix, Arizona. Like the sun drains you pretty bad. But that's pretty much been my schedule, man. I come in, I try to get in at 7 a.m., hit the bag, kind of just have an hour to myself of drilling what I want to drill, kind of visualizing what I want to go through in the fight, and just kind of having that time to myself. And then I'll come back in at 9, whether it's a strength and conditioning day, whether it's technique day, working with a coach, working with a drilling partner, do like 9 to 11, go home, eat. Usually I'll try to study, but if I'm tired, I'll take a nap. Been napping a lot lately. Sleep's been a big focal point, not just in this camp, but like the last 2, 3 camps, and I feel like it's been a big difference. I can definitely tell going to bed earlier, sleeping more deep is a. It just feels so much better. Like the muscles recover way better. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just eat, sleep, train, sleep.
And that's the you said sleep. I think that it's like very important. Like maybe not many people think about it, but if you are not slept well, it's like your day will be like over even if it didn't start it.
Yeah, and I think it's super hard to maintain your intentionality within your training hours. Like I want to come in with purpose. I don't want to waste an hour of training. Like I don't want to come in here and just be going through the motions. There's times where like you're dead tired, camp is rough, you haven't slept great, and back-to-back nights. It's very difficult to maintain that sharp focus to make sure you're improving, make sure you're focusing on where you're weak at, make sure you're trying to fill all these holes that there's just so much to learn. There's so much to improve on. It's the thing that you love about this fight game. It's also the thing that can drive you mad. You're trying to plug every hole up, trying to improve at the rate you want to improve at. So making sure we're disciplined in the sleep, making sure we're disciplined in the food, making sure I'm thinking right, I'm taking the time to be mindful, making sure I'm taking time to connect with myself, see where I'm at, see what I need. Those are really big details, and kind of like you said, details that people don't really think about, details that I'm putting more time and energy towards. It wasn't something like my first 4 or 5 years. I never put thought of into any of that, but the last 2, 3 years has definitely been more a focal point for myself.
Probably like the first thought for young fighter is just to train hard. It's like the first thing that people can think like about, but it's like much more complex than just hard training. Of course, this is still very important, but like the training smart, the recovery, like there are a lot of aspects probably to the game as the like from fighter perspective.
Definitely, and there's a quote by Vito Rujo. He's a NCAA D1 champion, very skilled, very fun guy to watch, super fast guy. But he made a really interesting argument, or not even an argument, but he was just talking about his previous careers because he wasn't his early NCAA collegiate career. He wasn't known as the guy. Right now, he's definitely the guy. But he talks about his his 100%, him at his 100% hasn't changed much. He hasn't gotten ridiculously better. Like at his best, he's still pretty much that same guy that he was in the beginning when he wasn't winning D1 titles, when he wasn't winning world titles. But the switch that he made for himself was his top game stays the same, but he's not allowing himself to drop from that too much. Like he's competing his lowest at like his 85% version, his 90% version. Whereas like he would go from a 70% to 75 to 70, 80. Sometimes he'd show that potential of 100. And I thought that was a really interesting idea. Like, yeah, like I know what I can do on my best day, but what kind of days can I be producing at a consistent rate? Can I make it to where I'm not going under 85, where I'm not going under 80? And that's been a big focal point. That's kind of helped me out a lot too, like not letting perfect be the enemy of good, you know? And I feel like that's helped me a lot because some days you'll come in and you'll feel great and you'll say, oh, hell yeah, I know what I'm doing. And then it could be the very next day and it'd be a shitty day for whatever reason. And you'll be just thinking like, God damn, I don't know anything. What's going on? You know what I mean? So it's kind of trying to keep things in perspective and not let those kind of have a goldfish mentality, kind of forget like the shitty days or the shitty moments and not let it ruin a whole day. Have it so that your day ends up being an 80% day and not like some initial mistake kind of start to roll downhill and become a bigger ball than it needs to be.
Right now you are in training camp, and what is the part that you are not really like part of the training? Do you have a like less favorite part of the training?
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm a fighter, man. I'm a scrapper. I love the mental stimulation of having people throw punches at me, having people trying to break my arm, triangle. Like today's a strength and conditioning day. When it comes to that stuff, man, yeah, I'm embracing it. There's an element of it that I love. Like there's an element of like the griminess of it. The oh, this is gonna suck. Let's go. Let's live in this world. Let's love this world. But in terms of like what's my favorite thing to do, it's not strength and conditioning. That's for damn sure it ain't. You know, J Rock's the man though. J Rock is our strength and conditioning coach. He gets us all ready. He gets us in dog shape, man. We're ready to go. I'm ready to go. I have so much confidence in my ability to push a pace and my ability to maintain a pace. And I know nobody in this world can break it. Like I know that. Like, and that confidence comes from J Rock. But as far as getting there, it's not my favorite thing. It's for damn sure.
But probably when you did this part of the training, you are like super like confident and happy that you did it because it's always like the hardest things when you did them, you are like happy and like motivated that that you were able to accomplish it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that boils down to like making sure you're getting your daily wins. Like especially when it's something you don't want to do, like a cold plunge. Like you do 5 minutes consistently, and it's like, all right, cool, I won. Like it's a confidence booster, and that's another big thing is like what's the word? Realizing the value of confidence and trying to and not thinking of it as something like a switch. It's not necessarily a switch. It's more of like kind of a battery. You kind of gotta build it up a little bit. And before I used to think of it as just it's a switch. I'll be in there and like all the work I did will be like will show through and I'll be confident. And that kind of works okay. But lately I've been switching my mindset to kind of like, no, this is something that needs to be cultivated, needs to be watered and like doing the things you don't want to do are for sure daily wins. You know, that's been a big help for myself.
And I think that for you the like mindset part is important, right?
Oh man, absolutely. Like the physical aspect of this game is important. Strength and conditioning is important, but like man, like the mind is everything. Like it's everything. If you're not thinking right, if you're not like watering your plants, if you're not watering your plants, like they ain't gonna survive. And you gotta kind of water your mindset constantly, and it's constant. It's not just like a 1 day thing. Like, oh, I got it. I got it. It's always constant, like checking in on yourself, being mindful. Like daily walks at night have been a really big help. Kind of just check in, like, how do I feel today? Why do I feel this way? Asking yourself these questions and like literally asking yourself these questions. It can feel a little silly at times, but like it does make a big difference, especially writing it down later on or just throughout the day. Little things like that, man. But doing it consistently helps a ton.
And do you collect the notes that when you are writing something, do you collect them after this?
Sometimes with my walks, I'll just kind of let it be from that, and I won't necessarily do it. But if it's more so like I like to journal just when I'm in studying or reading something, and then I'll just kind of check in with myself. Something about writing it down kind of feels like it's off of me. So I don't know. To answer your question, like not necessarily. Like I'll do my walks and I'll think about it, and that'll be as far as it goes. But I also journal and kind of get some stuff off my chest that way.
And sometimes when you are walking or people are walking without any like distractors like mobile phone or like internet, the best ideas come to mind at that point. Not when you have like TV, laptop, and everything, but when you are like free without anything.
Yeah, man, these phones are so helpful in terms of getting us instructionals, getting us technique ideas, letting us watch fights at a moment's notice. But they can also just kind of rob you of your attention, your time. So the phone is kind of a nice little battle too. Like you got to make sure it's not consuming you too much, and that's also a daily kind of battle as well. Those walks, I definitely keep my phone off, don't look at it, just trying to be connected with myself. But yeah, that's definitely something to monitor.
And when you are after the fight and you have a little bit more time for other things, do you have any like additional hobby outside of MMA game?
Sorry, I was reading a message. In terms of hobbies, um, I'm Mexican, man. I got a big family, so I got lots of nieces and nephews. I just try to spend more time with them, spend time with my siblings, spend time with friends. Lake days are big out here in Arizona. Just being outside. Being outside is big. Getting some sun, or maybe not too much sun right now, but going up north, like doing things like that is really good for my head. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And do you have any goals or plans outside of fighting that you would like to accomplish in next few years?
Yeah, so this is kind of something that's been on my mind a little bit more lately. I turned 26 in April, and I feel like from like 18 to 26, like I've been living in this gym, and like this has been all an all-consuming thing for myself, trying to improve as a fighter, trying to improve my lifestyle so that I can continue to improve as a fighter. But I haven't allowed myself to really think outside of it. And now, like, I'm getting to a stage where I want to be thinking more about it. I want to think about more, just being more responsible for myself, making sure I'm doing things that lead me to more, not fulfilling life, but a life building the foundation for my life outside of fighting or during fighting. So, not anything specific, but now something that's more on my mind, and I want to have those goals.
And I have a last question. If you have unlimited amount of money and you can create any kind of business, but not thinking about money, what kind of business would you like to start?
Oh man, I'm from Yuma, Arizona, and like Yuma's got like really bad unemployment rate. There's not a whole lot of resources for people in that community. Makes you a little tough, but like I don't have an exact idea, but some type of like boys and girls center, something to give kids opportunities, whether not just fighting or boxing or boxing and wrestling would be definitely a part of it because I think it's just so beneficial for anybody. But just giving people opportunity, especially it'd be nice to be able to get back to my hometown. place that molded me, created me. So something within that kind would be really awesome, and give the kids resources that's just not really available right now.
And this, of course, the sport aspect is important, especially for young people, because they have uh, like use their energy, let's say.
Absolutely, and it's just discipline. Like it cultivates discipline that you can carry on into anything else. Like there's this Dan Gable poster that I remember from my first wrestling room growing up, and it said, "Once you've wrestled, everything in life is easy." Which I don't know about all that, Dan Gable. Life can get it pretty hard too, but the sentiment is pretty true. Like once you've done like a hard, like doing the things you don't want to do, doing the things, just showing that discipline to yourself, proving it to yourself that, oh wow, I didn't want to do that, or that was super difficult to push through, but I pushed through it. That's a confidence and a skill set that will transfer to anything in life.
Okay, Jose, so many thanks for the time and for conversation. I hope that you will get another finish on LFA, and you will we can see you in the Contender Series in like September or October.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. I'm coming for it.